let's get to
All
it
right,
then.
let's
You
get
know
to
what I
it.
mean?
Lead us up with that question of the week, BLJ.
Question for you young men.
There it is.
Yo, name a time. Yo, name a time when you played a game, right? And then the next iteration of the game stepped away from the building blocks of the first game that were maybe amazing or very good. Did the steps that they took towards the next game, was it good or was it bad for the newer game?
So this sounds kind of similar. It sounds kind of similar to the question of the week, I think, like 2 pods ago. But I can give another example. Remember I was telling you about Dynasty Warriors Strike Force?
Yep.
I can give you a controversial one. You might use the same one that I use, but I'm a do a comparison of Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. Now, we all know they had focus attack dash cancel and they had the links and, you know, they had the Ultra, right?
Yeah.
Or Revenge Beater, right? You know, 5, focus attack dash cancel was not there anymore. A lot of people did not like that. And what did they introduce instead? The V trigger, right? And that was a polarizing change.
The whole V system,
Many people. Yeah, and
it was
the
ugly.
combo system was kind of watered down, which I didn't mind the combo system, but I do feel like they took a step backwards. It really wasn't a step forwards. But, you know, I wasn't the only one that expressed discontent with that change. But here we are, Street Fighter 6. So we'll leave Street Fighter 5 where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the answer to your question is, like I said, I mentioned earlier, this will be a question of the week I don't really elaborate on, but I feel like it was a step backwards instead of a step forwards.
Preach. I feel the same way. Get that out of here.
Yep.
Street Fighter 5.
So I got one, but I think I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this one. So
you can't get more
Mario
flack
games.
than me saying I didn't like Batman the animated series.
Yeah, you did get a lot of flack for that one.
Yeah.
Probably deserved, but you know.
Yeah.
But so I like the Mario games, right? Like I played, you know, all the Mario 1, 2, 3, Super Mario World pretty extensively when I was a kid. And then I never had an N64 growing up, so I never really played Mario 64. Don't hate me. I didn't have a chance, okay? The first time that I actually got around to playing a 3D Mario game was Mario Galaxy. And I was not a fan. Everybody talked so good about that game, and like I didn't even play it when it came out. I played it a few years later, and I was looking forward to getting into it and having some fun with it, and I could not get into it. I did not like it at all. I don't know if I just don't like 3D Mario and I just like the, you know, side to side Mario, but I couldn't get into Galaxy. But I still want to try some of the other ones. So for me, Galaxy was a step back.
So I'm guessing. Gotcha. So I'm guessing you didn't play Sunshine or Odyssey, any of those?
Nope. Never had a GameCube. I do have a Switch, but I haven't got around to playing Odyssey. I do want to try it. Like, I want to give it a chance. And, you know, for the same reason, everybody says it's good. But I haven't got around to playing it yet.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Right on.
Tomatoes are coming my way now.
I guess it's my go. I guess it's my go. So, you young men, let me tell you about a game that I played. Actually, 2.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to tell you about the 3rd iteration. I was just like, bro, what is this? What are you doing? Okay. So check this out. Are you guys familiar with Def Jam Vendetta?
Yep.
Yes. The first 2 games is wonderful. So I'm going to listen to your story. But yeah.
All right. So check this out. Def Jam Vendetta was a great game. It was built by the same people who did the Nintendo 64 wrestling games, which were great wrestling games. You know what I mean? They're called Aki, right? Something like that, right? Aki. They did a really good
Okay.
job on Def Jam Vendetta. That game was really cool because it was very similar to the old popular wrestling games. And on top of that, it had rappers in there. So you could play as Ludacris, DMX. It was pretty dope, right? I remember one of my most favorite things in the game is how you did the specials. It's something that feels so right about getting your special meter up and then grabbing them and then flicking the stick to do your special move. It just feels so right. You know what I mean? So anyways, that game was great.
Feels good to flip the stick and get what you want out of it.
Oh, exactly. So then the second version of the game came out, Def Jam Fight for New York, right? They changed up the system a little bit, quite a bit actually, but they changed it for the better, I'd say. They went from a good game to like a great game, right? The gameplay was a little bit different. They didn't really, I mean, you could still fight in a ring, like a wrestling ring, but they also had like outdoor stages and you can use weapons and it was all kind of craziness, right? Loved the game. Mm-hmm. Very fun. Had different rappers in there. Was a great time, right? I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but let me go to game number 3. And that was Def Jam Icon. Did you guys ever play that one?
I played it for a grand total of maybe like 10 minutes. But there was this cool part where Mike Jones was on the answer machine. And at the end, he was like, who? Mike Jones. That's the highlight of that game with me. In the 10 minutes I played. But it was still cool. Shout out to Mike Jones, you know.
What about you, Lambo? Did you play Def Jam Icon?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, back then, I remember when the game came out, I played it, and I was not that much of a fan of it. At the time, the graphics were, I would say, top tier. You know, I remember it was a graphic upgrade from Fight for New York, but that's kind of where it stopped for me. The gameplay was like way worse. It was way slower. They didn't even have specials in the game anymore. Like there was no more like signature moves. Like it was really bad, right?
Yeah.
But
stripped it down.
There was a couple of things I felt like they did that was very cool, but it was just executed not the best, right? So in the game, when you play, because there's rappers in the game, right? So they have their music playing in the background, right? So at certain parts of the music where there's like a lot of bass, the stage would actually like explode, kind of like if there's a fire hydrant, the fire hydrant would explode. If there's a car in the back, the cars are like a wiggle, whatever. It was like some weird mechanics or whatever, but you could use that to your advantage. So say there's a certain part of the song that's coming up that you know the stage is going to explode or whatever. You could throw the characters into one of these like hazard zones, and when the song would hit that thud, that bass, the stage would like blow up and you would cause damage to the other characters, right? So that was pretty cool. Great idea. But I just felt like it was executed poorly. They went away from the fast gameplay of Fight for New York. They went from the gameplay of Vendetta, and they just went in a totally different direction. And the game was dumpster juice. Big dumpster fire. You know what I'm saying? I was
and
not
one of
a
the
fan.
issues with that is you're saying if you know the song, you can throw people into the wall at the right time. But for people who don't know the songs and don't memorize them, then they're at a disadvantage when playing against people who do.
All right, so check this out. You're very correct. You're correct. They also had this one mechanic in there where you would hold like, I think it was L1 or L2. And when you hold the button, your character will stand there almost like he's turning the turntable, right? So while you're holding the button, you do one rotation of the right stick and one full rotation, and the left stick and one other rotation, it'll make like a scratch noise. And when you do it just right, your character like throw his hands down like this, and then you can make the screen like explode on command, which was pretty cool, you know. But like I said, it was
that's not too bad.
Just So you didn't really have to memorize the songs. I mean, it was pretty dope if you could memorize the songs, but But that's kind of where it stopped, though. The story was bland. It was not that cool, man. I can give you a long list of why it wasn't that bad. I don't want to bore the audience with it, but
we need to have another special.
Just know they definitely went away from what made the game special, what made the game fun, and they just kind of ruined it, right? Yeah, so that's my pick. But I bring up
Vendetta
that
was the
because
one I played the most of.
Vendetta was good. Vendetta, that was actually a wrestling game. Like Fight for New York was more of a fighting game, but Vendetta was actually a wrestling game, and it was really good. It was really good, really good.